Hey guys, I'm Elliott. This is Everything Elliott, and sitting in front of me are two York rakes. Well, they were pretty much saved from the scrap yard. I paid $120 for both of them, so 60 bucks each. The idea here is to take two of them and make one good one. This one to my left is definitely heavier duty than this one over here. So I think this is the one that we're going to save for me, and we'll pull parts off this one to use over here. A couple of things we need to do is steal some tines off that one, put it on this one. These are both 8 feet wide. I don't need an 8-foot wide one, so we're gonna cut it down to 6 foot wide. One thing about this, somebody added some sort of, it must be like a quick hitch or something for some sort of tractor that I don't have. So we need to get that torched off. And once that's torched off, it is a 3-point hitch. So that's the frame I was talking about right there. You can see behind it, that is the 3-point. So I don't know what they added on there or what that's for, but obviously not stock. You can see that piece welded on. Somebody hit old Theodore with the old grease on the top of the head there, huh? All right, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna try to separate this frame from the actual rake itself. Yeah, I knew I wouldn't be that lucky. So in theory, this thing should separate. There we go. So now I can try to get all these out. Oh God, this is gonna be a pain. Five in a row, that didn't want to come out. I'm just going through and getting all the ones that'll come out easy, and then we'll go back and get all the ones that I gotta fight with. I got all the ones off that will come off easy, so now all the rest of them are loose, which means I gotta put the vice grips on the bottom and grab them. Come on. So now we just have to play a game of whack-a-mole, try to knock all these out. I should probably be wearing safety glasses. Yeah, washers and bolts are flying everywhere. Looks like we got a bunch of spacers in here, so we'll collect all those. We'll get all the rakes off and start making a pile of parts. So I've got what I would consider the hard part of it done. All of the tines are disconnected. I'm still getting over a little cold, so that's why I probably sound a little stuffy. So I obviously need to get all new hardware. I mean, that's was I hope hopefully a given to you. But where do we go from here? Well, we got to start sorting tines, figuring out which ones are straight, which ones are bent, if they can be saved. I don't know. I don't know how I bend them perfectly. I'm probably just going to end up stealing some off this rake. Yeah. And then we need to count how many tines we actually need for 6 foot. That's also important. I think that's where we're going to start. We'll measure out 6 foot and go from there. Maybe I think I'm going to do 7 foot, because then when you put it at an angle, it obviously shortens up. So if I do 7 foot, that should help a little bit. All right, so that's our 7 feet. Let's see how many tines we need. 42 tines. Let's see how many we have. 2, 3, 33. So that means, God, I hope those tines are the same. If they're not, I'm in trouble. They're not identical, but I could probably make them work. I mean, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to make them work. All right, I need 9. We're gonna steal 9 tines off of this. I wonder how easy or how hard these are gonna come out. Yeah.
20 minutes later.
What a joke. Why do I do this to myself? Save a couple $100 and just frustrate the fuck out of myself. What a terrible idea. Terrible, terrible idea. I don't even know if these are gonna come out of there. All right, so they will come out. At least there's that. So we got 1. 8 more to go. So now that I'm done cannibalizing this rake, should probably just get it out of my shop, get it out of my way. All right, that gives us a little more room. I think the next thing we need to do is probably, well, I mean, running to the store is definitely on the list. I definitely need some hardware, but I need to go to Tractor Supply for that because I need so many. Tractor Supply actually sells by the pound, not by the bolt. So definitely best bang for your buck. But besides that, we can start working on the 3-point hitch situation and see how that turns out. So this is the 3-point hitch scenario that we're dealing with, and originally what I thought I was going to do was just cut this whole frame off and just use from here back. But now that I look at it, I'm rethinking that plan. What I think I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to cut this here and here. That'll get me access to the top link here. And then for the bottom pins, there's these convenient little holes right there, and I actually have this. Well, it's cut off because I used it for another project, but that'll fit in there perfect. And then that's a 3-point hitch lower pin. Yep. So I've had this problem with this plasma cutter since day one. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And honestly, I thought it was user error. And I finally reached my breaking point, and I just called ESAB to figure out what the problem was. And they said it's a problem with the machine and I need a whole new machine. So they gotta send me a whole new machine. Which is unfortunate because I don't want to wait for a whole new machine. So with that bad news, we're gonna put this project on hold for right now. Well, at least the cutting part. I can still get all the hardware, do all that, clean that up, and mount all the tines. But at least the cutting part is gonna have to wait. All right, same day. We went to Tractor Supply. We got some nuts and bolts, and we got some pins. The show must go on. Now, I will be the first one to admit that I am not good at cutting with torches. I have torches so I can heat up bolts. That's generally all I use my torches for. Well, and bend some metal, but torches can be used to cut metal, and I guess we'll give it a try. I do not have a setting right. I need to go check that. I need to go check what my pressures are at. I'm not super good at cutting with a torch, and I don't really know what I'm doing, so I can't really tell you what I'm doing wrong. This would be way faster with a grinding wheel. I really don't know what I'm doing. And I'm man enough to admit that. The good news is, it's screaming hot now, so I can't touch it. That's not good news. I don't know why that would be good news. All right, so I'm just gonna have to cut that off. So that's what I'm gonna do. All right, guys, well, I think I'm gonna call it a night. We made some pretty good progress today. Basically, the only thing left to do, there's a lot left to do. We gotta finish up the front portion, which really shouldn't take much. Gotta mount the bolts, and I'm gonna touch up some welds. I found some welds I didn't really like, or I should say I found some places that should be welded that are not. So we're gonna touch up some welds, we're gonna mount the pins, and then we can put that back on top of this. That's why there's these holes here and here. The bolts actually run all the way through the frame. That's how it connects. So that's why I skipped those spots. So yeah, I'm gonna call it a night. We'll button this up tomorrow and hopefully prep it for paint, because I am gonna paint it. So I tried drilling through these to shorten them up to make them even with these other ones, and this is definitely hardened steel. I don't have any drill bits that'll go through it. I mean, I made an indent on it, but that's it. So we might try to heat them and bend them, or we might just leave them as is. All right, so all the tines are back on, all the new nuts and bolts are in. It's looking good. It's starting to look like something. Yeah, it's definitely usable. So you can see those tines that I stole out from the other one stick out a little further. Like I said, we'll try to heat those up and bend them in. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. In here, I feel like this should be welded, so we're gonna weld that. And then of course we've gotta add the arms, or the pins, but I'm probably not gonna add the pins until it's time to actually do that, because I don't wanna paint the pins, so probably just leave the pin out of there, paint it, and then put the pins in. So for welding today, we're going to be using the ESAB Rebel 285, and shouldn't be an issue. I think that's all the welding this thing needs. And you probably can't hear me because I don't have my mic on, and you're probably just listening to the welder make all sorts of noise. I am now at the point where I need to start getting like all this loose paint off. So that's just going to be a lot with the wire wheel on the grinder. All right, well, the wife just texted me, said nap time's over, my son's up, so that's as far as we're getting for right now. is not. So that is the first coat of primer on the York rake. Probably gonna do 2 more coats of primer. So 3 coats of primer and probably 2 coats of color. And the only reason is this thing is gonna sit outside, so I wanna make sure it has maximum coverage. I don't necessarily need 3 layers of primer, but just doing it 3 times, you're kind of guaranteed to hit everything and not miss anything. So I'll do 1 more tonight, probably 1 tomorrow, and then next time next time you're here in about, I don't know, 5 seconds, you're gonna see me laying down some color. All right, we're ready to throw down some color, and I know I just showed you putting the primer on, and I wanted to show you, in case you didn't know, the cheap alternative to spray paint, and that's like oil-based paint. I pick it up from Tractor Supply, and I just spray it through a HVLP, high volume, low pressure, HVLP gun. The gun I use is a like $13 gun from Harbor Freight, and I paid $5 for like a 2-year warranty on it. So if it ever gets clogged or dirty or something happens to it, I can just take it in and get it replaced. I'll show you the gun in a minute, but I just want to show you how to mix up the paint if you want to do it this way rather than buying $15 of spray paint. This can right here was 30 bucks. I picked up some yellow. I don't know, I guess it was yellow to begin with, so let's make it yellow again. So this is Magic tractor truck and implement exterior oil-based enamel. We'll show you how to mix it up to put it through a spray gun. So this is a measuring cup, mixing cup from Harbor Freight as well, and it's got all your ratios on it. When I'm doing the oil base, I do a 3-to-1. I don't know if that's right, but it works for me. So with this measuring cup comes these disposable liners. You put the liner in there, and it's got a top with a plug on it as well. These are made to kind of go right into the gun, but for some reason, mine doesn't work. I'm missing like a connection or something. Shake your paint good. Don't knock over your mixing cup. I've been shaking it, so it's shook up. So what we're gonna do on this is we're using the 3-to-1, and we're gonna fill the paint up to this 3 mark. These are just marks 1, 2, 3, 4. That's just the amount of paint you have, but you wanna match that mark. So if we're gonna go 3 with paint, we're gonna go to this next 3 with the solvent. So about there. So then with the solvent, I use this V&M NAP HTHA. That seems to work well for the oil base. I think you can use like mineral spirits as well. And you just pour that up to the next 3. Right about there. Disposable top goes on. And this has actually got a screen in it, so you don't need a screen. And then over the disposable top is the screw-on lid. And then you just shake for like 5 minutes. So once you're done shaking, you just pop this little top off. And this is all disposable, so you're just gonna throw this out. And then you just dump this into here. So you got your color in your gun. Don't forget to put your top on. And this is the $13 gun I was talking about. Got a regulator on the end of here, and I run about, I think, 40 PSI in it. I can tell you once I hook my hose up. So the next step is basically put on your respirator and get to work. There we go. All right, that's one coat. Got a little bit of overspray on the camera. That's all right, clean it off. One coat, I'll probably put like 2 more on there. Remember, this isn't a race car or a show car, just a farm implement. All right, guys, well, I gotta be real honest with you. I'm pretty much done with this video. So yeah, I still need to put another layer or 2 of paint on this thing, but I mean, you've seen it. What more is there to do? So if you want to see this thing worked, you got to subscribe. You got to hit that like button so my videos keep popping up for you. Make sure you do that. I'm going to put this thing to the test. I have something for it, but we got to finish it. So I'm going to finish painting it and we'll put it on the tractor and put it to work. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out the future videos with the landscape rake. And frankly, any other attachment I have. Until the next video, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.